All right, I'm going to hope that this works. All right, so we're going to try this again. This is attempting a playthrough of Crusader Kings 2. Of course, there were already 3 episodes of an Irish series. Unfortunately, that Irish series ran into recording issues, whereas, I didn't really record it while I was doing it. So it's over now after 100 and some odd hours of playing. So, but the footage, there is no footage that exists. So we're going to have to do something different. Now, fortunately, through that playthrough, I've learned a lot about this game, and I should now be in a quite more competent frame of mind going into our next campaign. And the next campaign is not going to be all that far different from the Irish campaign in the sense of where we're starting from. We're going to start off in Scotland. And, once again, I don't have access to the older DLCs, so we will be running from 1066. And my guess is that we will run it all the way through to 1453. We're not going to be any of those guys. We're going to go to the first start date where they haven't yet conquered England. I'm going to go find a count. I'm going to go find a count in Scotland. And we're going to play not Strathern, I'm sorry, we're going to play Carrick. And we are going to design a new ruler, just sort of like the one that we designed before. We're going to leave we're going to leave most of this stuff the same. Let's mess with hairstyle. There's only 14 of these. I mean, yeah, there's only so much we can go through here. Okay, we're going to go with hairstyle 8. And go with hair color 2. And we're going to go with beard number 4. I don't know necessarily how well this looks, so we're going to go. So clothes, 4 out of 12. I'm not worried about that. Headgear, I've seen that. I tried to give my last guy a helmet, and I don't think that it really did that. Background, we'll go for the campaign field background for the moment. And then we need to go mess around with a coat of arms. Oh, that's right. I forgot. There are 4 different slots on this thing. I haven't edited coat of arms in a while. So let's go ahead, and what we're going to do is, oh, that's interesting. Ah, okay. Again, you can get multiple slots. I'm not necessarily sure I want anything in slot 1, slot 2 kind of thing. Okay, whoops. I'm doing that again. Yeah, so that's how you would change that. So color 1, we want, okay, what do we want? That's interesting. Okay. Let's see, color slot 2. Yeah, I'm just sort of working my way through this here. I'm going to try to do this fairly quickly because, there are other things that we can mess with. I'm not really sure why we're getting emblems on top of emblems here. Hmm. Can get the emblem out of there. I'm not exactly a big fan of the eagle here. Anything I can do about that? Maybe this will... Yeah. Okay, there we go. Now we can... Okay. Okay. It's interesting. We could be the fish people and the seashell people, or the horse people. Hmm. If we're going to be the horse people, then okay, we got it. I'm just... Let's not fight it here. Attributes. Magnus Ballantyne. Nope, that is not going to be our guy. We are going to be of House Richardson. And if you think, okay, well, that doesn't exist, you're correct. I'm pretty sure that I believe in Scotland, the correct phrase would be like Mac Richard, and I'm not really sure what Richard is in Scotland either. But for the sake of things, I'm going to keep it Anglified, I guess. We're not married. We're Scottish culture. We're going to be Catholics. No daughters. I'm not going to mess with those things necessarily unless I have an opportunity to. Now, education is where we can show what kind of person we are. And I have a feeling we're going to need to be militarily endowed. So we're going to go as a brilliant strategist. And that immediately bumps us up to age 33. So if you want to be a brilliant strategist in real life, remember you have to be at least 33 years of age, unless you have some sort of negative trait. Okay, so we are going to, God, Kinslayer. Is Clubfoot... Okay. Problem I have with Hunchback is nobody likes this. Like, I spent a lot of my Ireland playthrough, and literally the biggest problem diplomatically in my first character was his was that Hunchback problem. Okay, we're gonna go genius here. I guess we could go inbred, but I really wouldn't want to. Okay, we are going to... Okay, we're gonna go weak. I'd like to go scholar. Well, actually, that's actually a negative thing. No, it's not. No, take it back. Can I take it back? Yeah. All right, so I need something that's going to slow me down. What do we got here that could be like that? I think Honest just made us a year older. So let's hold off on that. We want something that's going to make us let's see what Zealous does. Oh God. No, that's not really what I wanted. So wait a sec. Zealous added 30 years to our life. So we want things that are in green. So Shy would be in that list. Craven, although we don't want to be Craven. Well, this is interesting. That doesn't do anything to your age. Frail could be. Frail could be useful. So then we have Dull, and we don't need to do that. I like Strategist. As a thing. Where is... There's one I'm looking for in particular. Maybe it's up at the top. You know, all we had to do is be inbred and we get a whole ton of points. You know, just... Where is it? Wounded. There it is. All right, so that reduces down to age 42. So we need something that would knock us down. Yeah, I don't want to be sickly. Because that just... I don't mind this one. The problem is it only gives me but so many years. The best one really, but I know from experience that if I give myself Hunchback, everyone will hate me for it. And probably the same thing would happen with Ugly. Oh, I love what Celibate does to your thing. Okay, Lustful, Gluttonous, Slothful. We need to find some stuff. It could be Deceitful or Craven. And again, not really big on Craven. Be Arbitrary for -8, Cynical for -5. I mean, I kind of could see this. Okay. Frail. So I'm now 28. Probably want to be a little bit... Well, I mean, we could go that route. He's known to have killed one of his own. He's a terrible, terrible man. He's possessed. It's interesting. We're going to make our character depressed, and then we're going to, hopefully, that will allow us to give him something positive to make up for that. Maybe he can be a poet. Or a falconer. That's going to be a problem. That not so much. Okay, we'll do this. All right. So okay, I'll make us 19, 20. We're going to go 20. We're going to go 20 on this. And we'll do it that way. So, all right. So we have our little horse and our dual colored shield. And this is going to be really hard. So here we go. We're just going to go with the base set stuff. I'm not worried about, I do have the Mongol stuff, but that's one of the few DLCs I do have. We're not going to worry about Iron Man or anything because I'm not going for achievements here. This is purely for the story, folks. So here we go. Well, that's nice. I have a feeling I'm going to be hiring all of you guys back to those jobs in just a second. All right, so here we are in Scotland, and we have a lot of stuff that we need to do just straight off here. Okay, so you can see we can grant some jobs to people. We need to pick an ambition. That'll be easy enough for right now. Since we're not married, our first job should be to get married. So we'll look at that. We got pretty awesome stats courtesy of the thing maker. We've got access to about 1,200 men, which is good because we're going to be using those. And basically the story is that our guy, family was killed, family and the ruling person in Carrick were killed by Vikings. And our character wants to take revenge on the Vikings by eliminating all the Viking, or by eliminating the Viking powers that be. So we're going to be trying to build up our power with the idea that we're eventually going to take on the Kingdom of Norway and its various stuff over here. Of course, right now Norway is controlled by a very powerful king who's in the middle of invading England, so we're not doing this straight off. Instead, we're going to be going down, we're going to have to be securing our power. Now, you'll notice that our county, Carrick, is part of the petty kingdom of Soriar, otherwise known as the Kingdom of the Isles if we were playing in English. It's a little co-kingdom to Scotland in this early time. And what we're going to have to do is build up our power within the early co-kingdom and take out the leader, King Gudrod, up here, because King Gudrod is Norwegian in origin, so we don't like him either. And then once we've done that, then we need to figure out what the best plan of action to gain enough power to attack Norway directly is, because we don't want to attack Norway straight off because they have a lot of troops and we don't. So we need to be careful of that. So first, we don't have an heir. That's not going to change for the moment. Let's go deal with our council. Okay, we need a chancellor. Now with the chancellor, the most important statistic is stewardship. So that's going to be Hugh, who might also have been our marshal. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Hugh is supposed to be our marshal. Our chancellor is supposed to be Ross. Hi, Ross. Sorry about the job confusion there. And the first thing that we need to do with Ross is we need to start expanding our territory, and we don't have any claims anywhere, so we're going to have to make something up. So we're going to send Ross south to go make a claim on the neighboring court of Galloway. Interestingly enough, if you had just played a normal game and had not changed character, Galloway is the place, or sorry, the Count of Carrick you would normally start off with is the son of the Count of Galloway. So we don't have to worry about him. Okay, a point. Sorry, Hugh. Hugh's already ticked off because we made him the Chancellor and then took it away from him. So we're gonna have Hugh training troops because we're gonna need him. Hopefully Hugh won't hate us by the end of things. Wow. Okay, one little mistake and he's gonna hate us for 10 years. We go with our steward and his best. Holy crap. Yeah, we don't have a good steward. This will be a problem eventually. Right now, though, it's not like we can do anything about it. We just simply don't have enough money to go out and recruit somebody or to use the intrigue menu to do the same thing. I'm sure we'll get around to doing that at some point because it's usually how I stock my generals. Spy Master, we need someone good intrigue, and we ain't got it. So these guys, what we'll be using them for at first is probably to study technology, unless I want to set up some sort of plot on some of my neighbors. I kind of don't feel good about sending this guy out into the field with this terrible, terrible rating. But it also means if he dies, I care less about it. So, oh wow, I think his rating is so bad that we can't even send him anywhere. Okay, that's disappointing. All right, so we will send him instead. We will send him to go scheme over in Galloway. You know, our chaplain, we don't have a lot for him to do necessarily right away, so we're okay. He can't even improve. We're gonna just have him study cultural tech in the capital for the moment. So everybody's kind of shoved into the capital here. All right, next thing, law. We don't make the rules in Scotland, so we can't change those right away. Feudal taxation, you know, we're going to need the help. And because there weren't a lot of guys to pass that sort of went through right away. Inheritance law, eventually we'll want to change this to something else, but we don't have any heirs right now. But eventually we will want to grab primogeniture. And it doesn't really bother me what the gender is. In fact, in some cases, it's good to be flexible, because if you go purely agnatic, then, you know, if you don't have any sons or they all die somehow, you could be in big trouble. So we're just going to work around that. That's the only thing that we can really mess with right at the moment. I don't think, yeah, I don't think Scotland's not elective. Neither apparently is the Isles, so let's not worry about that. Next tab, technology. Okay, I mean, it's too early for us to do things there. The thing I'll be targeting a lot will probably be legalism. So that's probably going to be good considering I've got my court chaplain doing stuff. Military, there's our 1,200 dudes out of a possibility of 1,800. I'm not really exactly sure. I think that's probably related to my martial score, but we're going to need to get those guys kind of filled out. You can ignore the mercenaries right now. We won't have any money to deal with them. Intrigue. Again, we barely have any money to do anything. Factions won't have anything at this point. Religion and societies, those won't matter much. Our court is 9 people. Okay, but what we can do, hold on, we have, oh damn. She would have made a decent spy master. Oh, of course she also sleeps with the neighborhood. The thing you want to look for in a wife mostly, and the reason I'm really leaning away from marrying this woman, even though, you know, conceivably, God, that intrigue score, that is such a good score. And, you know, women spy masters is one of the few ways that you can get somebody into your court who's not male. Otherwise, it's like a special request kind of thing. She's certainly far better than anybody else. Her state stewardship score just, I mean, you know, we're kind of going for a big stewardship score here. And it got our personal domain, this number up here, up to a 4, so we can control 4 counties by ourselves. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna marry her. Well, no, I'm not. Take it back. Taking it back. But I do want to keep her around because I can theoretically, you know, in the future train daughters or sons with her in the party. So who is single? Bishop, you might be single, but we're going to keep it that way. We're going to try to run a clean shop around here. Steward, you are not married. Good enough. Okay. Now, she appears to be the only woman in our court, so we need to bring in more women. So we need to have our court, you know, grow a little bit so that we can take advantage of some of the better traits in the court. All right. Looks to me like we're going to be marrying a lot of people off to people nearby. So guys, looks like, what the hell? Oh, you're the guy I made my marshal. I've already fired him off the council once. He'd be much better as a steward. Okay, I have a feeling that this is, we're gonna regret this. We still getting married though. Okay. Let's check out some of these other guys. Some of these guys don't seem to be worth much. Andrew's clearly a chaplain type. Our current steward is probably going to end up being our new marshal. All right, so let's... Really, I can't fire him? I'm just because because I gave him a job. Okay, well, we're going to have to go back and fix that. Okay, that's not what I wanted. Minor titles. We've got a commander at 10 and a guy at 6. I mean, eventually we want things better than that. My experience is that 10 is about the lowest you want your command score to ever get to. Need a cupbearer. Okay. High almoner. She's going to be very useful. I'm pretty sure. We need to appease Hugh. Probably end up making Hugh our regent. Actually, well, nah, he's still the better choice. Okay, so we filled up those things. Now the next thing we need to do is get ourselves married. And at this level, there's not going to be incredibly a lot of options. Misguided warrior. Well, that's okay. I'm okay with that. She's got a middling, middle of the road kind of stewardship score. The reason I wouldn't go grab Beatrice just straight off is because she's 39. Inga is 16, which means she's got plenty of time to produce kids. She's a little shy. That's not, again, that doesn't bother me. Okay, I also don't want to... Okay, well, we also need to start building up our prestige score, and as you can see, that marriage was not going to do it for us. So let's think differently. This is high-ranking people now. Yeah, rank. Okay. I really do need a wife who's going to be here right away, so I might go ahead and eat that score. For the sake of just having kids right away. Arbitrary, deceitful. It's a little older than I would like, but she does have a plus 5% score. The problem is I'm looking at women, really looking at women the wrong way. What is this? Boulogne. I'm not... I'm not going to find myself in France all that often. So, okay. All right, I'm really going to eat the influence penalty? Um, a lot of schemers in this group. She's at least Norman. I mean, that's so. Well, of course, depends on how we really feel about Vikings in this. I really don't want to go with the older Norwegian women, nor the theologians, right off the bat. You know, I'm going to eat the penalty. I'm going to see where this goes. This is something that I've not done in a while, so I'm going to eat the penalty and see what happens. Yeah, we know title loss on succession, ruler unmarried. Okay, we're going to start getting a lot of. Okay, I just healed. That's good. We're going to respect the people's wealth. I'm going to accept a role as commander in Guy's army. We're getting a bunch of messages. So wives are showing up at court. Okay, we still need to pick an ambition. Well, pick a new ambition. So we need to. Okay, wow. I mean, becoming King of Scotland is it's rather quick. Okay, so now the clock is running, so things can now happen. All right, so our guys are busy doing that. We're going to speed up the clock at some point here, but for right now, what I need to do, let's see if I can fire people. That I've screwed this up. Okay, so appoint a new spy master. Okay, we're going to appoint my wife. Appoint new commander. Marcus, appoint new steward. Hugh, appoint new commander. Comgol, and you know, it just everybody's changing hats, and I imagine nobody's particularly happy. All right, so now we can make our steward one of our commanders. And even though we've done a heck of a lot of firing and not much else, we can now put him here. We can him, and we've got the wife doing the spy master job. Hopefully that won't distract us from what we really need to be doing this early, and that is baby making. We got to call the stork, and we got to call him as often as possible. So we really need to keep her around. So we'll let her scheme inside the province. I think that'd be good. Okay, so we're now almost to the end of 1066. We're married. You got all that stuff going on. You know, there's some options here that we won't be able to do just yet. I'm pretty sure we won't be able to buy indulgences either, but that's just me. All right, any sort of plots we can do here? We can kill a Norwegian, always good for that. We can kill a bunch of people. We could kill a little kid in Argyll. Probably those are the heirs in Argyll. We will want to target Argyll in a second, or not a second, at some point, but first we need to get Galloway. You know, I think so. Let's see if we can take on Galloway next episode. See you then.